What it do, folks? What it do? Listen, I always got to look at the clock, figure out what day it is. September 25th. Team No Sleep. They call me James Six. Don't worry about me though. The guy next to me, that's Montel Allen. Man, what it do, man? You hanging in there, brother? You hanging in there?
Oh man, you know me, like I always tell you, man, my worst day is a blessed day. I cannot complain. I'm 6 feet over instead of 6 feet under.
Okay,
Got a loving family. Um, man, there's never a complaint coming out of my mouth, man. As long as the minutes stairs is there, so I'm good.
that is true.
I'm real good.
That is true. Listen, as long as you get one more opportunity, one more again to go out there and try to put a dent in the universe and do your thing, then that's always a good day. Make sure you take advantage of it, folks. Listen, we see folks rolling in. Mr. Hunt is in the building. Listen, appreciate you for being here, sir. Listen, that's one of our moderators extraordinaire. So he's there to make
Yes,
sure that
sir.
the riffraff don't get to acting up.
Yeah.
And the riffraff come and they may show up tonight. Because
Make sure the fools stay out the comments. So
yeah, maybe so. Hey, David, go ahead and flex them moderator skills and those privileges that you got.
Yes, sir.
Seniors in the building, so like I say, we are officially going. Listen, we're gonna get into it tonight. We gonna get into it because tonight is 80% negative or 80% troubling, 20% not troubling, and we may not even get into the other 20% because we're gonna talk about some other things. But I will say, listen, I got our own gear. So the Digi Scoop, what do you call this? The little mug right here. It's in the merch shop. Get it? I'm just drinking some juice because I'm going to the gym later on. So y'all see this right here. Dad, you should be getting yours either today or tomorrow. So don't trip. So yours is yours is in the mail. Gettysburg College, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a swim team, multicultural swim team. Which is one thing that's good, right? The fact that more minorities, more blacks are involved in swim. If you don't know where Gettysburg College is, that's in Pennsylvania. Kind of like I said, incident that happened over there not too long ago. Just gonna let y'all read the headline right there. All right, Gettysburg College swimmer reportedly carved the N-word on a teammate's chest with a box cutter. So. You in college, you in an event, you had I'm gonna summarize the story, then we'll go into detail. But we had to lead with this. You in college, higher education, Pennsylvania, again, East Coast, a lot of the legacy schools. Where you expect to be responsible and you don't expect something like this. Your teammate, your colleague, your friend at this on-campus event, not even an off-site event, not even at a hotel or not even in a dorm somewhere else, but on an on-campus sponsored event, rolls up on you with a box cutter and carves into your body. Racial epithet, and this is 2024. This is the year 2024. What do you think when you just read this headline right here? In terms of just the folks that were involved, the actual doer, and then the recipient of this hate crime in the year 2024 in these United States. Is this where we still are?
Yeah.
Is this where we still are, where our youth in college at an esteemed university in Pennsylvania are getting carved up with box cutters by one of their friends?
They're held down by another. He was held down by another while the other one carved. That was teammates. I think that I read. There was
On
another person
Friday, the
involved.
victim's family released an anonymous statement to the college paper, the Gettysburgian, explaining the incident. According to the family, a trusted friend etched the N-word across the victim's chest with a box cutter, which they called a hate crime, on September 6th at a swim team social gathering. Bruh. told you last night when I saw this, I was in the gym and I got to acting the fool as I was walking up and down the corridors there because this ain't right. Come on, this ain't right. This ain't right.
This should be one that I told you before we got on. This is the number one story that we should be talking about.
Yep.
It's more important than every score,
Mm-hmm.
every record broken in sports, and anything that's going on in sports today. This is probably this should be one of the most highlighted and important stories. And our counterparts, the Club Shay-Shays and the
Mm-hmm.
ESPNs and the Stephen A. Smith podcast will never bring a story like this to light. This is a damn shame in 2024, in the scenario, in the situation these young people are at. They're competing for their school. They're athletes for the school. They represent the school. And the fact that a young man is at a swimming event, and I would definitely either two scenarios: either someone assisted him and held him down when they carved that in their skin, or they got the young man somewhere so drunk that the other person had to carve that in their skin. I didn't get the full gist of what
Yeah.
happened.
Well,
The
there were
details
two directly involved that took part in the event. So yeah, one and just assuming this piece of the involvement, one probably held him down and the other one carved him. My problem, one of my problems with this entire thing is, and we talked about this offline as well. So first, hopefully y'all listening and watching are getting the gist of this severity of this. Why is that person not in jail as opposed to only being no longer enrolled at the school?
Kicked out of school.
Right. The story says that person is just no longer enrolled at the school. That person needs to be enrolled in the local penitentiary is where they need to be.
Yes, that is considered what we call a hate crime. You should be charged with assault with a deadly weapon and a hate crime on top of that, which carries a mandatory of 10 years, right? I believe 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
To do that to an individual under any circumstances. And I'm disappointed in Gettysburg University that the school did not only that the family is trying to get involved legally, but the school didn't charge the young man and hold him detained until the police came.
Yeah,
in that situation. Like, and then on top of that, this is buried somewhere in the back news, and it's not being highly profiled as a situation of hate crime. We don't want to ruin the young man's career that did it. Yes, we do want to ruin the young man's
Yes, we do.
Image that did this, because there's no room for that. These young men are 17, 18 years old. They know better. They know the situation. They understand it. He deliberately carved the N-word in this man's chest. Something he's going to have to live with for the rest of his life. There is no escaping that. There is no getting away with that. That is going to be his mark for the rest of his life, that across his chest. Now, you tell me how you're supposed to explain that to your kids when you walk around with your shirt off at home.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to explain that to your mother that this young man has done this to you? How do you you talk to the doctor while he's healing you, how this is supposed to happen?
How does no one else at this event stop me from carving 6 letters into your chest?
Again, another thing. Why was nobody to that party fighting for that young man, helping that young man out? So there's a whole bunch of people involved in this whole thing that need to be brought to light. Where's the other teammates? Where's the other party goers? Who's in the room? You didn't hear this young man scream or squirming as he felt the pain of a razor cutting through your skin. And I don't care if it's a slight scratch or not. That's the fact that someone that had the ability to carve that in your skin. Well, I'm assuming there was blood and everything everywhere, or there's blood on this.
Yeah, right.
And
So I mean, we sitting here hypothesizing, but we can see that's what we do, and I think that's what we should do, right? And I'm sorry to interrupt you, man, but we're sitting here just imagining what that situation was for the young man that went through this.
Yes,
I'm at an event with my team on college campus with who I thought were my friends, and they doing this to me, and nobody's coming to help. Oh shit!
And then the humility that you have to explain that to somebody, right? Guys, I thought my friends, people that I thought I trusted, and they did this to me. The humility of that, and then let's not forget about the division of black and white. I'm sure, I would hope on campus, this is a problem where they're marching in as hard as they're marching for Israel and Palestinians and all that stuff and their situation. Why is nobody in Gettysburg talking about this racial division situation or what happened to the assault on this young man? Why is that not focused on TV? And I'm not diminishing anybody's cause, because everyone has a place for what's going on. But I'm saying right is wrong is wrong. And I don't understand why the masses can gravitate to one thing and not an assault like this on a young man that didn't deserve it. I don't care what he did. He didn't deserve for somebody carving the N-word on his chest with a box cutter. Like, where are we at? As a matter of fact, where's the coaches at? Where's the AD and the administration? And where are their comments on this whole thing?
Here they are right here. What I got highlighted, and it's incredibly peculiar. I see y'all for joining. Appreciate y'all for coming here. He says, in a letter to the school community Monday, the president of the Gettysburg College found the incident was, quote unquote, not a byproduct of an unhealthy athletic team culture or a reflection on the team itself. Ever since I saw this story, I've been keep refreshing the web pages for Gettysburg University and anything else going on in the community. There is no light. There is no insight. There is no more conversation about this except for when it initially happened. Meaning, it seems like no one's paying attention to the grotesqueness of this. No,
Yes,
they're trying to push it under and maybe they're not. But again, this is what we're seeing. This is what we're seeing. We're outside. We're worried about the gentleman who got this done to him, right? We are upset. We need to acknowledge the harm the incident has imposed on members of our community who, by virtue of their identity, race, culture, and history, have long been marginalized in our society through language and actions precisely like those that took place. He wrote in his letter. But again, that's just 35,000 foot fluff. Not that these cats that cut into this dude are in jail for hate crime and whatever else that we can throw the book at him on. That's all he wrote. That's all he wrote.
You know, it's crazy, man. To me, when we're victims of crimes, it gets forgotten, and we're told to forget. When crimes against other people, they're taught to make sure we remember and we honor. Straight up, crime. Look at Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor's case is still going on. No one talks about it in the news unless you get a little something from Kentucky. No one's talking about those police got acquitted on some of those crimes. No one talks about any of those things. So if no one's going to talk about a woman that got murdered in her sleep, what makes you think they're going to try to talk about a young man that's living alive to get carved the N-word in his chest?
Mm-hmm.
It pisses me off because when we're victims, like I said, we're taught to forgive and forget, right? Or forgive and forget. But no other community has to do that. And I'm specifically talking about African Americans. And I don't mean to single out or be racial about it.
Today we are. No, today we are. And so I'm coming a little different than I typically do. We less PC today. Well, today I am.
Let me continue with that. Then us as African American culture is taught that. We need to forgive and forget. We shall overcome. All that. It's never that for any other community. You know, the religion of Jewish, they don't forget their crimes. They don't forget anything that happens to them. Matter of fact, they ask for reprimand, right? And they ask for action to be taken. We're dealing with these uprisings and campuses with the Palestinians and all that stuff that's going on. They're there and they're there. School just started and they talk about uprising again to fight for their cause and their beliefs. You know, because your daughter's at UCLA. I get it on the news all the time. They're preparing for these uprisings to happen again. And actually, universities are preparing by getting military kind of armed stuff to defend against it. So they're preparing for that cause. They're not forgetting it. They're still uprising. They're causing about it. But once on African American, a man just got the nigga across his chest carved in it, and no one's even talking about it. And it's in a sports setting. This should be number one on ESPN. Talk about someone needs to investigate this, and something needs to be called to action.
This need to be at the top of a Stephen A. Smith instead of worrying about the Cowboys. This need to be on top of Shay's list instead of worrying about whatever team, because they've got those larger platforms to actually bring some enlightenment. This should be something that LeBron is talking about instead of selling Hennessy. Yeah, we pointing. We pointing fingers now. We pointing fingers now.
I'm gonna be real. This should be ahead of in our community, in the Black community. This should be ahead of a point of talking about Diddy and Young Thug in this case.
Yeah.
Them rappers this should be in the forefront. This has happened to a young man that's in a higher education, that's trying to better himself, trying to do the right thing the right way, and he goes to a school and this gets carved in his chest. I don't give a damn about Diddy. You made your millions, you made your choice, and you laid lane. I don't care about Young Thug. You're in the RICO case. You got those friends, you around those friends. You deal with it, you live with it. This young man didn't ask for this. This young man was trying to be a part of a team, part of a situation where he could compete, and then somebody
Held
carved
him
him
down.
up.
Held him down.
Carved him up like he's a
And carved him.
freaking animal. It doesn't make any sense to me, man. It really doesn't. And it's
Let me throw some more salt in here, because again, I found some other stories just about what's going on behind the scenes. So we already mentioned that the two individuals that perpetrated the crime,
yes,
would not participate in swim team's activities pending a conduct review. So again, they haven't been expelled, they haven't been suspended, they haven't been arrested. They've been removed from the team. Oh, guess what? Even the brother that had this done to him has been dismissed, not suspended, from the swim team. So he's off the team. I don't think he wants to come back anyway. But again, the optics of this, the optics of the statement that the coaching staff has dismissed this young dude from the team speaks pretty loud to me. Speaks pretty loud. Y'all chime in as well. Y'all chime in as well.
Let's ask our audience in this situation. Yeah. We're all at a Team No Sleep gathering. I hold one of our audience back, and James, you carve a hateful saying on his chest. What would me and you be at this point right now? Would we just be kicked off social media?
I'd be under the jail. I'd be under the jail.
We would both be under the jail.
Right? Under the jail. No one would probably know it, right? We'd be missing. We'd either be missing, under the jail, or worse.
Worse, right? Because we would have to deal with the backlash. What happens to us when we get into jail, right? Mm-hmm. With Caucasians, right? Mm-hmm. If they found out that we did this to somebody on the outside, those ones in there would want to try to deal with us, right? In the situation where we probably have to fight. Mm-hmm. So we got to deal with two folks. Not only am I locked in jail, but I got to watch my back about what's going on in the prisons because they know I did a hate crime against someone that looks like them. These young men are walking around, like you said, just off the team. They just said one of us not enrolled in school, right? And then asked her to de-enroll, disenroll in school or something like that. So he gets to live life continuously normal until the dust settles. Probably has the ability to re-enroll in another school and go somewhere. This young man is scarred for life every time he takes off his shirt. And he has to live with the humility that he says, I got held down, and two guys wrote this and carved this on my chest. Yeah. I have to re-explain that story every day. You know, basically, he got a scarlet letter on him for the rest of his life.
Right. So again, if y'all too young to know what that is, go ahead and Google that and understand what the scarlet letter
is. Or read the book.
Reference to. Yeah.
Pick up a book and read it. So why is this acceptable? Why are we accepting? Cancel culture pisses me off, man, because they pick and choose. Right? We want to cancel stars and cancel all this other, superstars and all this other shit, but we don't want to cancel when shit really happens to real people. Mm-hmm. It's pretty frustrating. This is a university that takes money from students, where usually universities are really the head of the cause, but yet I haven't heard, and maybe it's not publicized enough on the campus. I don't know, but I cannot believe no one in college sports is talking about this incident.
This is not. Maybe it's too raw, too sensitive, and again, I'm not making excuses for anyone, but again, I tell you, man, I keep refreshing, I keep looking for all the stories anywhere else, but every story that talks about this just says, again, the two that were involved are just no longer on the team. This is the first time that I saw that.
Where's the black faculty? Where's the black faculty on this campus? Where's the other black students? Where's BSU? Where's the black fraternities? Where are they at the neighboring universities that are around here? Yes. Why? I see what you're saying. And, this should be an uproar. This should be an uproar. At the very least, they should be marching and contesting in some form or fashion.
I'm looking to see if there are any
I don't understand
black
that, man.
Greeks out there.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be black Greeks. It could be the black student union. It could be black professors that are on campus. Anyone that's there, or if it's not on that campus, it could be the neighboring university. I'm not understanding why everybody's just turning their head and there's no light shining on them. Now, I don't know what Gettysburg community's like. It may be predominantly white. I'm not quite sure what it looks like out there. I've never been there
It is.
before.
So from the college perspective, so 2,207 full-time undergraduates, were 62% identify as white and 21% identify as people of color.
So out of that 21%, let's divide that evenly. Let's say there's at least 3% black. That's more than enough to be able to go out there and say something. And
somebody should say something. Somebody need to be saying something.
Somebody should say something. So it fears me because me and you, like, we got kids that are in college, away in college.
That's why this hits us so hard, right? You know me, I internalize a lot of stuff, but that's why this hits us so hard. You're right.
Well, it would hit me if it wasn't my child, but it was a friend or somebody associate they knew about. If it was somebody that just went across campus and saw each other every once in a while, it would bother me. Because the fact of the matter, if they did it to one, they can do it to another. They can do it to another person. So I'm pretty. It's really disheartening because this ain't a young person that was trying to do wrong. This ain't a young person that was out in the streets. This ain't a young person that was all in madness. This was a young person that was in school participating in sport, and he has to become a victim of a crime. And now that he's a victim, it's not even. It's like it's a backstory. I hope their family sues the hell out of Gettysburg University. I hope they sue the hell out of the police department. I hope they sue the hell out of the two people that assaulted them. I hope they sue the hell out of everybody involved, including the swim team and the swim team's coach. Everybody should get sued.
Yeah.
I hope at least you get compensated for this. This going to be impactful on this young person.
Most definitely. So we're going to do this live here online, and hopefully this doesn't backfire, but in case it does, it does. So the Black Student Union at the school has 74 members. Let's they're not showing anyone's face. That's fine. That's fine. But let's see. They have the Twitter account is only for the school. Let's see what it's showing. Again, not showing any talking about homecoming. Not talking anything, no post at all in regards to this situation or an issue. You don't have to labor on it, but again, there's been nothing publicly written by the school to the external world about this particular issue. And these social platforms are how a lot of the youth and students communicate. And there is nothing. I'm scrolling here. There's nothing that the school has said about this incident that happened on their campus. Like, go look at this press release. Or go look at this. What the president of the university said. Go look and see what we're doing to deal with this situation. Nothing.
Can you scroll back? One layer to the webpage? No, to the webpage. You can click back. It was to the BSU webpage.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay.
Scroll down to the bottom. The bottom. There was a comment, I think, right there. What does that say? Leave a message for what?
Notice the address and then send a message if you want to, I guess, get in touch with the folks at the school.
Yes. Can you type a message in there?
Yeah.
Well, I want them to come on. I want someone. Can you send a representative to come on our platform to address why no one has commented about this situation, and have them get back in contact with you, and let's have them on the show.
Let's do that. Make me nervous typing on screen. I'll type it right now, but but no, you know what? That's exactly what we would like to have. Hold on, in case y'all can't see, we would like to. Tag told you I can't spell. Black Student Union, Black Student Union
to discuss and just put the link, paste the link.
to come on our Social Impact show talking about the incident with the swim team. I'll write more, but yeah, I'll send that in a second. That's it.
Perfect.
What's up, Mr. Watkins? Hey, we're gonna handle this business. We got to find this out, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
everyone for riding with us while we go through this situation, because no one else is talking about this, and that's just, I don't understand why this is not flashing on people's screens. Why Pennsylvania is not showing to the rest of the country. I don't understand why this isn't. Why
It's not.
is not Al Sharpton swooping in? Why? Right, and maybe because we don't have those. We don't have a lot of those folks anymore that are
No,
as
but
active.
you letting us off as a community off lightly. No, we do have those folks. They have those folks there.
So why?
That's why they call them bees.
So where I was going with that. So why aren't they rising up?
One,
Somebody
probably
should.
because they don't know about the
Why is it you and me, two young brothers from the West Coast, rising up to support this incident on the East Coast?
I think because one, it's not highly publicized like other incidents are. That it's not highly publicized, and again, if it's on the back page in small print, no one reads it, right? It's only reading when it's in the front page. Sometimes it can catch a headline.
Yeah.
This hasn't caught a headline of anybody, but for us, it's damn sure should catch it. It's gonna catch a headline because as soon as I'm done with this show, I'm gonna put it on my platform. I'm gonna tweet it out.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tweet it out before our show, but I'm gonna tweet it out after my show and put some awareness about it. It's sad, man. We're in, like I said, we're in this day and time, 2024, where we uprise and we protest and we cancel everything, and yet a story like this where a young man has been assaulted,
mutilated.
There's nothing but whispers.
Mutilated.
It's not even whispers. There's nothing. It's like it's almost like it just didn't happen. And I don't care. I don't care if it's a small school with only 5 people that go to that school. If somebody's assaulted like that with the racial impotent, something like that carved across their chest, which obviously had to be painful, and now he's marked for life, and no one's gonna say anything about it. Yeah, we got to know about who twisted their ankle and who scored a home run and who did a walk off.
Yeah,
all that shit is not news, man. When it comes to something like this needs to take precedence, especially among us African Americans. It really does. I love Kamala Harris. I love her campaign, but why ain't her campaign addressing? Why ain't somebody saying, "I feel my heart goes out to the person that happened. This should never happen to nobody, much less a college student for real." That's the kind of stuff you hear about. It. This was on Oz, man, on TV.
This doesn't seem real. This doesn't seem, and again, for it to be today, this does not seem like it should be real. But someone, and we'll do it. We'll be the voice to bring some additional insight and some light to it. I see folks that are saying as well that they're in agreement that someone needs to stand up, someone needs to make a move, someone needs to make some noise about this. We will do that, but this happened early this week, and just for the fact that nothing has been written about it anywhere in the local press about this. Forget the national press for a minute. I would think that the local beat writer for the Gettysburgian or somewhere in Pennsylvania would be hot on this, because again, it's local to the community and it's more right. It's home. It hits home for them. But there is nothing besides the 2 dudes that did it no longer own the team. The guy who had it happen to was dismissed from the team until further investigation. Nobody's been arrested. We don't know how to. Obviously, we don't want to know the names, right? So again, protect the anonymity of the guy who got this happen to him, right? Hopefully, he's getting the medical attention that he needs. Obviously, we want that to happen, but we don't know anything else that's been going on. I want to know. I want to know.
If that happened anywhere else, if the roles was reversed, if it was 2 black guys that carved something on the white guy at Gettysburg, I bet you'd be all over the news. I truly believe that in my heart. I'm sorry, but I just believe it in my heart. Not only would it be all over the news, but those they would have been arrested and in jail, and their parents would have been trying to have to post bail.
It'd be a topic at one of these rallies. It'd be a topic at one of these political rallies.
Absolutely. Look at these thugs you let into our schools to do this to our young men or to our young sons or something like that. So it's hard for me to just swallow this pill and just let it go. It doesn't make any sense, man. We've been and to people that always says racism isn't real, black people, you cry too much. Those things don't really happen. They do happen. And now that it's not happening to my mother or happening to me, it's happening to our kids. Decades later, man, it's still happening to our kids.
2024.
For what? Because I got a different color skin than you? Bro, if I disagree with you, I just disagree with you and we can move on. Because I have a different color skin than you, that gives you the right, or that picture in your mind gives you the right to hold me down with one of my teammates and carve the word nigga in my chest? Like, I'm surprised. I'm not saying I would do it, but it wouldn't surprise me that young man came to a weapon and tried to handle this himself and defend himself. And I would be able to empathize. Don't know if I'd agree 100%, but I would damn sure be able to empathize why he did it and the reason behind it. It's just sad, man. It's sad. It's really sad, and it's sad that no one's hearing that no one's coming to defense or making any echo to put these people in a position where they can be financially compensated for this hideous crime, right? Because if LeBron tweets it out and he says something about it, guess what? All eyes goes on Gettysburg. At least they can have a trial and this young man can be compensated for the wrongdoing he's doing. Not saying that's the greatest thing in the world, but at least it's something. Right now, he's got nothing. He has swimming no more. He's probably not going to school right now. He's scarred for freaking life. He's got to go through whatever mental issues he got to do to compress this thing and deal with it. Why those guys just walk around free and live with it and say, oh, I just made a mistake and keep it moving.
Yeah. Looking at the Gettysburgian, the newspaper for the school. Yep, Mom, you got it right. That's exactly the front story that we're talking about right now. So the team said that their swimming season begins in a few weeks. They are determined to emerge from this a stronger, more united team. In a few weeks, we will return to the pool as determined as ever. We will represent this college with pride, both in and out of the water. We will emerge from this a stronger, more united team. And as many others have said, our campus has the potential to become a stronger institution because of it. No, man.
Okay. Why is the NCAA said you guys suspended until this is resolved?
No,
until the further investigation is done. Why man? Again, no action, man. It's again when it happens to us, man. It's like forgive and forget, and it's sad. It's freaking sad, and it just makes me more and more angry.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
I mean, and I apologize for the dead air there. Again, I'm reading what was recently published on the newspaper there online, and again, it's more CYA kind of marketing fluff and presidential and administration fluff. Yeah, it's nothing getting to the cause. Regardless of the cause, it's nothing getting to the solution. No type of action that's happening. It's just we gonna put this behind us. We gonna be better. Go team kind of stuff. I don't get it, man. So the Black Student Union released a joint statement on the incident. We stand in full solidarity with those who have been impacted and offer our deepest support. We are disgusted by this. We are disappointed in the way the school has handled this situation thus far. Exclamation point. So yeah, we're going to reach out to the BSU, the Black Student Union for Gettysburg University, and use this copy right here, kind of as our marketing
use our platform to have that discussion. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully they come back. Yeah.
So that's wow. September 25th, 2024. This is what we're talking about. This is how we have to start the story, right? I wanted to talk about, it looks like the Indiana Fever not going to make it past the round. I wanted to talk about that. I want to talk about that story. I wanted to talk about Shohei, right? 50-50 year. I wanted to talk about that. But we had to start with this. We'll move on. But just want to let you guys know again, we talk social impact of sport, and this right here, by definition, is a social impacting of sports situations. So to recap, the sole black member of the Gettysburg University swim team was at an on-campus event, and two members of his team held him down, carved the N-word in his chest with a box cutter. All three individuals, so the one who had it happen to, has been dismissed from the team. The two individuals that perpetrated this have also been removed from the team. They have not been suspended from the school, and they have not been arrested. Okay. It's hard to move on. It's hard to move on and go on to another topic. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. All back on staying on the East Coast. Listen, hopefully y'all are safe. Hurricanes out there brewing in the water. Hopefully you get batten down the hatches and doing what you need to do in the Florida area, in the New Orleans area, in the Georgia, all of that, right? How this relates to sports is it's good to hear that the NFL is getting involved, and the fact that they're opening up some stadiums to provide shelter for folks in these inclement weather situations. So right now that there have been a couple of stadiums that have been offered up in this initiative. MetLife, where the Giants and the Jets play, Lumen Field up in Seattle, Acrisure Stadium where my Steelers play, and Raymond James Stadium where the Buccaneers play, which will probably get used first because of that hurricane that's brewing out there. What's the one in New Orleans? Where is it still Mercedes-Benz? Superdome?
I think Mercedes-Benz is Atlanta. Superdome, I think. I don't know who they're sponsored by.
Somebody. I would think that we don't want that to happen again. I'm happy that this is listen. This is dope. This is good, right? Again, just to have a venue that houses 60, 70, 80, 100,000 people. You can provide shelter during inclement weather. It's a good thing. I want to see New Orleans on here as well, because everything in Louisiana is below sea level. But again, Raymond James Stadium in for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will probably, like I said, get utilized first if Hurricane Helene hits land anytime soon. Helene, if that hurricane hits land, that'll probably get utilized first. But your thoughts on this, because you had an interesting point as well before we started.
No, I think they're doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, it's about time they do something good for the people. I mean, you have a facility that needs to be utilized to keep people safer in your community. It's just the right thing to do. I mean, I don't. It's great that they're opening them up and doing those things, and NFL are getting involved. But I mean, could they do more? Yes.
Yeah.
Could they provide supplies? More so supplies? Yeah. Talking about billionaires, man. It's 28 billionaires in the NFL.
Yeah.
Billionaires. We ain't talking about small money. We're talking about a lot of money. Billionaires. Why? It's okay to give back. It is. It really is okay to give back.
It's okay to give back. It's okay to give back. There should be nothing wrong with giving back.
We're giving back, man, and especially in these people in these times of needs and things that are going on, man. I think, and God bless those ones that are opening their stadiums and doing those things. And I'm sure they do philanthropy work all over that we don't know about, right? Because they have to. One, not just because they want to, they have to because of the amount of money they make. So unless people don't get it twisted, these are all nice guys. They have to give away millions of dollars because otherwise Uncle Sam's gonna take it from them. So they do things like this out of need, based on their financial situation, and sometimes out of the goodness of their heart. I think it's okay. Whichever forces you to do good, do good. I think that's okay.
Yeah. I'm curious why SoFi is on here, right? So SoFi Stadium down in San Diego, is it necessary? Well, yeah, down in your neck of the woods. I mean, you really aren't. I mean, we don't have extreme weather to that extent, but
no.
Again, I would have much rather had New Orleans on here than SoFi coming up next.
See, for me, it would be more impactful if they all said, "Hey, we're going to collectively open up our stadiums and provide all these goods and services for these people to be able to for shelter, right? Especially in the Gulf Coast, in that Gulf Coast region, like we said, from the Houstons to the Dallases to the New Orleans to the Jacksonvilles to the Buccaneers, and obviously Miami, I think, is going to be really impacted because they're going to get hit hard with their stadium. So those 5 stadiums in Atlanta, I forgot Atlanta. If those and also college stadiums opened up, because some of those college stadiums are just as big as NFL.
That's next. So good, very good point. Yeah, very good point. Yeah.
So if those opened up and said, "Hey, we're going to provide these things," and if NFL said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to fit the bill to a certain point to make sure people have water, blankets, somewhere to stay, shelter for these days until the storm calms down and assess the damage." Why not, man? If you have it, why not do it? It's not you're not signing a week because you're giving money to people that need it. It's not a sign or anything like that. It's a sign of mankind, right? Human kindness at that point. And I think they're in a position there to do it. And I'm glad some of them said they're going to open the facilities. But on that list, is Jerry Jones on that list? Has Dallas opened their stadium?
No. No.
Has Houston opened their stadium? The Texas stadium?
No.
Okay.
So
wait,
maybe.
Okay,
go ahead.
For those who don't know, we know New Orleans is going to be affected. Guess what? Houston's only like an hour and a half, 2-hour drive. So those people can refuge and go to Houston if they can't stay in New Orleans. Why aren't you opening your stadium? See that part right there? That's the part that kind of irks me. Like, why aren't you opening your stadium for people of the residents of New Orleans to be able to come and refuge there for a couple of days until this thing comes over? So I don't know, man.
So again, there's 2-3 sides to every story. But again, I'm with you on that on why in New Orleans. But it's interesting to mention about Houston. The caveat here, and who knows if this is the determining thing, to be officially designated by the federal government as an emergency location, stadiums need to be centrally located, close to major roadways, and healthcare services like hospitals accessible for those with disabilities, and be able to deploy food, water, and medical care quickly. I've been to Cowboy Stadium. It checks all them boxes. Jerry's World is right there, and across the street from Jerry's World is where the Rangers play, another large facility, right off the freeway. Right off the freeway.
But pause for a second. Who's paying for all that the health services and all that stuff? Who's paying for that?
This is a joint effort. I don't know who's paying for it, but this is a joint effort between FEMA and the NFL, and obviously the owners as well of those teams.
So they are doing a little bit of something. They are going to do a little bit of something. Donate a little bit of money to help them out. Yeah. Which is great.
What that breakdown is, who knows? But again, that's just the high level bullet points here. So
how's divided? You're right. How's divided? We don't know, but it's great that those owners are contributing and doing those things. Like I said, I think it's great to do good, man. I think that's more of a feel good story. Kudos to the owners that are getting involved and want to be a part of that. I think they all should be a part of this. Only it's 28 of them. I don't know why all 28 of them can't donate some money to give to FEMA to make sure all these things goes, and maybe they are collectively. Maybe just the NFL is doing it. I don't know, but it's great that they're involved and they're doing this. And the other good thing about this, which I think the note is, there really hasn't been a lot of press on it either. So this is something they're doing out of the kindness of their heart.
Man, we above the curve here, but notice, folks, that we asked the hard questions too, right? Yeah, great story, but you could do a little bit more. Yeah, right. You could do a little bit more, and you could open up some of these other locations. What? I'm not worried about SoFi. SoFi is pretty. San Diego. Listen, y'all ain't gonna have too bad a weather. I would focus on Houston. If I was in the room, if you let me in the room at the whiteboard and actually start drawing some things on, I would have Louisiana. I would have New Orleans. I would have Houston. I would have. You already got the New York facility, but again, add in around that Gulf where things are happening.
If I'm in the room, it's even different.
Houston will be the
refuge for Louisiana. Houston's a refuge for Louisiana. Like, if you can get on that road and get there, please come there. This is where we house you guys. Just like we did when Katrina hit you guys. Come to Houston. We'll make sure you're there in our stadium and in whatever stadiums around. If you're in the Alabama state of mind, I want you to go to Atlanta and get to house in the Mercedes Dome because that's centrally located.
Yeah.
And if you can't get to that one and you're in Florida, you got where it's going to get hit the hardest, supposedly. You got the Tampa Bay Stadium and you have the Jacksonville Stadium. So we have 4 major stadiums that are all ready to go for everybody. The people in Mississippi have to make a decision that they want to go east or west, whichever one is closest to them, they can vote. But for me, if that's the case, then why isn't Ole Miss? Why the NFL saying, hey, Ole Miss, open your stadium, we'll fit the bill. Mississippi State, open your stadium, we'll fit the bill. Let these people on campus and provide them shelter and all that stuff. Why not do those things to make sure everybody's covered and everybody got a situation where they can get to some kind of safety place and be A-okay? And aid and all those other things you were talking about will be provided in those stadiums. Like I said, it's okay to do good. It's okay. And I don't understand why. I think we should be normally doing things like this when situations happen, because this is going to have to be a collective effort.
This should not be the exception. This should be the norm. We just asking, and we just saying you should continue to do and actually do more to do better. Do more to do better.
Absolutely.
Chris Stone talk about he's going to the game. Listen, man. Hopefully it's not to the point where you can't go to the game, because he's a fellow Michigan fan there. You know, I was born in Michigan, so shouts out to the Wolverines. And he's going to the Lions game.
Good.
You know, Lions aren't.
Let us know how the weather is.
Yeah, button up, brother.
Let us know how it was.
Good. You know, get you a coat from Detroit. Don't take a jacket from California to Detroit, or even from Atlanta. You know, just make sure you got London fog with a lot of down in it. Be bundled up.
It shouldn't be that cold right now.
Man, it's cold, man. Come on, it's outside.
You're gonna be all right.
It's outside. No. I don't know. And the trading's in the building. Listen, he coming from we're global. So we're an international show, and the trading's coming from the other side of the planet. Appreciate you for being here, sir. Man, I'm not that bad, man. I'm trying to come out of this dip that I'm in right now, because I'm still.
I'm in a funk.
Part of my brain is still on the first story, and
I'm toe up, man.
Part of my brain. Oh, see, hold on. Mom is sending me messages. See, I wrote a comment. I see here. I wrote. Yeah, Mom. I see your comment. Yeah, we talked about it. Mom was like, "Wait a minute, did they really do that?" Yep. Yes, they did. Yeah. What do you want to do now, man? We
pivot, man. I mean, hey, you know what? To get on a lighter note, let's talk about some accomplishments. Mr. Ohtani. What a great accomplishment.
Listen, you want to talk baseball. Man, hold on. Let me put a marker right there, because that never happens.
Man.
That's brand spanking new.
Hey, I still don't agree with him being playing the dumb role in that case about his money being gone. I don't agree with him. I think he knew.
English is his third language.
Beyond that, his accomplishment on the field is extraordinary. I think he's at 51 and 52 right now. But to go 50-50 and be in a class all by himself.
Shohei Ohtani, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following baseball, he is the only member of this fraternity. He has hit 50 home runs, and he has stolen 50 bases this season.
Yep.
And that was a couple of days ago. He surpassed that game. I think he's at 52 now, 53, whatever the case may be. But that's a pretty good accomplishment for. I'm not going to call it an asterisk year. Because he's not doing the same thing that he's always done. He's also typically pitching, but now he's just DHing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But again, for anyone, because no one has done it yet. No one has gotten to this. He's again in the room by himself. He's got this crown. 50-50 is pretty dope.
I mean, that's Hall of Fame, right? Because no one's ever done it. That's a Hall of Fame season that he's having this year.
This is enough to get him in the Cooperstown.
Oh yeah, he's at least for this season, right? It'll be a legendary season if he doesn't do anything else after this. Someone to say he's had probably arguably the greatest season of any baseball player ever, right? We're hitting 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases, and not only that, leading Dodgers to looks like another title, title in his division. And hopefully they go further than that if they can make it. But I'm saying I'm not a big fan of baseball, but I am a big fan of people that do great things. This is a great accomplishment.
You're a fan of the story. You're a fan. So here's a story that I don't know if you may have thought about, but this is just the way my crazy mind works. This young kid is hitting. He's a young kid. He's 52, wherever he is right now. I can only imagine after the game the drug test requirements or requests. Hey, Shohei, come on over here and pee in this cup. Let's just make sure that you straight, brother. You know, we just want to make sure that you not
And I'm gonna
Canseco in
I'm gonna
us.
keep it
We
real.
just want to make sure.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. If it is tainted, they'll never let us know.
Wow.
Oh, this is
Come
where
on, he not that untouchable. No, come on.
Yes,
nobody is that untouchable. If
really?
he was juicing, no,
he's that untouchable.
No, man.
Absolutely. Ohtani right now is the international face of baseball. It was supposed to be Machado from San Diego Padres. He's not. It's him. Ohtani is the international face of baseball. He's not only bringing U.S. back into the mix of watching baseball. All of Japan watches baseball because of him. When he broke the record, it was the front line of every page in Japan. So he is the face of international baseball, which is where they want to grow baseball. They are not going to. They're going to take care of the bag like we talk about. They're taking care of the bag. If he got any tarnish on it, guess what? We're cleaning it up because we're not going to let them have it.
They're going to bring in the cleaner. They're going to bring in the cleaner just to make sure.
Well, absolutely, and they've done it, and I think they've done it already.
Yeah, no, okay, you're right, because y'all should know as well. We went in a lot of detail about the issues with the money and the gambling and his past interpreter, who is haven't seen him in a while either. But everything Ohtani seems to have touched, especially this year. I mean, up until this time, he was always like, okay, yeah, this dude is pretty good, all right, this dude is pretty good. But now he's in this elite club. He hit this ball, and that 50-50, all these other ones are just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Yep. But that 50-50 ball, my man that caught that ball, he said, listen, I'm going to keep this. You Dodgers, yeah, you can offer me whatever you want. You can offer me a signed bat. You can give me dinner with Shohei. Give me a jersey. You can offer me $300,000. I don't want it. Now, if somebody listen to me, let's be clear here. I've been to a lot of baseball games. Caught a few fly balls. If I caught a fly ball and the LA Dodgers wanted to give me $300,000 for a baseball, bro, I'm gonna give you that ball back. I'm not a gambling man. I go to Vegas and I go hang out with Vanna White. The Wheel of Fortune. Boom. I try to hit them numbers, but I'll drop in $60, maybe $100. I'm not going to take my chances on the open market, on the auction market, and say I got this ball. Give me $1.8 million for it. I'm gonna take this 300. Well, I'm gonna negotiate, see if I can get up to 350, 400. But I'm not just gonna slam the door on the Los Angeles Dodgers just for baseball. Talk to me, y'all.
I'm with you. I probably would have took the 300, but I'm like, I want a lifetime supplies of free tickets. I can come to Dodger Stadium anytime I want to. Since I'm that guy.
On the first base line, right there by the first.
Yeah, I want prime time seats at the Dodger Stadium. For the rest of my life, me and a guest. I want my $300,000. And if you guys want to do that, cool. Because I'm gonna buy enough hot dogs and beer while I'm there with my $300,000.
Me and my folks gonna be taken care of. I might say,
yeah, that got to be taken care of too. And then I would have gave it to him. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not a baseball fan, and I really don't know about it. I know memorabilia does go for a lot of money, especially the longer you hold on to it. But then you got to prove it's authentic. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Look at you, big words up in here. Now you see what I'm saying? I know.
Yeah. The authenticity, they got to prove that's that, and all those. You go through all that. Well, I could just like after the game, man, like, look, cut my check. Let's rock with it. Let's go. I ain't got to
give me my money.
Yeah, and Ohtani, and he deserves to have the ball, right? He's accomplished something so big. He deserves to have it. I would have been like, let's give it to, because that ball's going into Cooperstown, right? So shoot, I'm not passing up on free money. Like you said, I want some negotiation and some things met. But yeah, they're gonna have that ball for $300K, $350, 400, somewhere around that in that ballpark.
I don't know, man. Y'all tell us what you would do. Looks like Mama's saying, listen, I will say I want my money right now as well. Security escorted the man from the outfield area for his own safety. I don't know if they made him leave the venue or not, but passionate fans would have probably jumped up on him as well. You just you just never know. Come up off that ball, brother. Come up off that ball. But
Man, I mean, like I said, I'd have been. We'd have just been in that room negotiating. I'd have missed work that next day. I would have been going to work that next day. I'd be like, hey, well, let's have this. Get your lawyer and let's have a conversation and get your checkbook out because this is what we're going. This is what
because you about to have a direct deposit from somebody.
Oh yeah. I'm taking the money. I'm not waiting. I'm not holding off. I'm taking the cash right then and there.
My God.
As a matter of fact, I'll be like, hey, Ohtani, you lost $800,000 betting. Why don't you throw extra
why don't you cut me a check?
Cut me a check. Yeah, why don't you cut me a check too so I can get him this ball? I mean, good for the guy good for Ohtani for hitting it. Yeah. Good for the guy that caught the ball. Good for the Dodgers organization. Good for the face of baseball because baseball is so dry. They need something to hype up and continue to go with it. And then that's just a good all-around story. Everybody's going to benefit from it some way or another.
All right. Caitlin's season is over. Caitlin's season is over. It's all good. But Diana Taurasi's still playing. So I'm bobbing back and forth, right? And I keep keeping the conversation going. Mm-hmm. I'm locked into WNBA. So you and we that's forget all this other stuff. Notice we haven't talked nothing about football. I'm locked into WNBA. But let's wrap with this last story that again is kind of interesting because we've had conversations about this gentleman, and I don't know if this is a wrinkle in the conversation now, but now we need to talk about this. Brett Favre. Listen, Brett Favre was a wizard out there on the field between the lines. He could hurl that. I think he could have thrown the ball all 100 yards if he wanted to. He's just a gunslinger. That was his nickname. Did what he did. We've talked a lot about his situations lately with taking money from the school that his diverting funds that were supposed to go to school organization and instead giving it to his, I think it was his daughter or I think it was his daughter's volleyball team.
His daughter's school.
Daughter's volleyball team, right? So diverting funds, and he doesn't think he did anything wrong. He was just following orders. He was just following instruction. Then he had some comments about Shannon Sharp. So he's had a lot of negativity, non-positive things going on in his world outside of actually being on the field. Now he was just at Congress the other day. This was actually yesterday. And he revealed he has Parkinson's disease. He revealed that he got it first diagnosed with Parkinson's back in January. So we start flashing back to all the conversations that we on Team No Sleep have had about Brett Favre, and then we give him a pass because the man is now ill, or we now know he's ill. I'm gonna stop right there. What do you think? The man has come out. He sat in front. I can't even look at you with a straight face. The man has come out. He sat in front of the Congress and he says, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry if you thought I did something wrong. We need to start investing in these companies that are doing research around head trauma and things of that nature, because Brett Favre says, I've taken a lot of hits to the head. I have been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. You cutting him a pass?
Nope. Great football player, asshole in person. You can quote me on that.
That's going out in about 1 hour. That's going to be all over the airwaves.
Yeah. I'm not giving a pass because, all of a sudden now, you had enough. Let's be honest with you. You took money in deferred funds to your daughter's school a couple of years ago. And you were fully cognizant when that was happening. You knew what was going, where the money's coming from. They already said you've been a part of it because you've been found guilty of it. All those things were all in place you knew about. They said you knew about. So Parkinson wasn't an issue then on your thought process. So why all of a sudden now it's an issue now because you want to bring it in front of the Congress and you're getting ready to go through the heavy part, I believe, of your trial and all that other good stuff. Or I think some other accusations he's going through. Why is that all of a sudden now an issue now? Why is that the thing now? I'm going through Parkinson. To me, it's a Trump move. You want us to feel sympathy for you based on what's going on. And I'm not I'm not down to anyone that has Parkinson's disease. I know it's a very very serious disease, and I'm sorry that he's gotten it, but that doesn't excuse your actions because you got it, right? It doesn't excuse you from taking money that you weren't supposed to take and give it to your daughter's school.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't excuse you, because Shannon Sharp called you out on national TV about what you did.
Yep.
It doesn't excuse. It doesn't. He was right. And then you trying to sue him for defamation of character, and he was found innocent that he wasn't defamation of character. He was speaking the truth, what he said about you, and that was his opinion of you.
So
I
Brett
love
Favre, you are still of sound mind and body, is what you were saying.
Yes,
at least
I
sound mind. Yeah.
I think he was at least he had enough cognizance to be able to make decisions and to do things. Now, if Brett Favre wouldn't have lied about what he did and said, you know what, you're right, I took money from the wrong fund, I gave it to my daughter's school, I'm going to replenish it all as well, and I'll deal with the rest behind the scenes, and I'll move on. I didn't mean to do it. We would have been like, oh, cool, I get it. You were rushed around, the money came from wrong. He tried to hide it. No, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't take anything from there. I didn't do all that stuff. So Parkinson made you lie? 3 years ago? No, it doesn't. Bro, again, our culture really picks and chooses who they want to go after and do these things. And I think him admitting that, brave that he's admitting that he's doing those things. And I'm sorry he has the disease, but that doesn't excuse him from what he did. So, and I think he's putting out there in the public to try to get a sympathy vote.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going. It's interesting, and again, you're right. All respect and empathy, and let the medical team do what they need to do. But it's interesting how soft and mild and reserved and withdrawn people get when something ain't going right.
Yeah.
Right. When chips start falling down. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't know I was doing it. Can you forgive me? Can we drop any charges? When he was sitting in front of the House Ways and Means committee the other day, he said, more than likely was not from anyone else in his family, right? So it wasn't necessarily inherited, but he thinks he had hundreds, maybe thousands of concussions throughout his career, and the doctors are saying more than likely from all of that, those blows to the head is where this onset has happened. So,
but let's also dissect that so people really understand. He said he suffered from hundreds of thousands, maybe thousands of head trauma. He's also was paid hundreds of millions of dollars. You sacrificed
still got a gold jacket. Yeah, still got a gold jacket.
You sacrificed your body and put yourself in a sense to be compensated in order to be able to take care of your family, do things the right way. That's the cost of playing football. Just like the cost of people going to war. Just like the cost of somebody boxing as a profession and MMA as a profession. They know the risk as they get into it, and they're highly compensated behind it. So, yeah, do they need to do things to make it safer? Absolutely, and they're taking those precaution efforts. But what does that got to do with you and the crimes that you commit? What does that got to do with anything that you've done wrong, and use that as an excuse to be sympathetic?
Has nothing to do. Has nothing to do with the $77 million that was supposed to go to poor families in the Mississippi area, and instead went to your daughter's volleyball squad.
Yes, nothing to do with it. So yeah, I'm empathetic to you. I'm sorry you got Parkinson's disease. I'm sorry that you're sick right now. I'm sorry about all those things, but that doesn't excuse what you did. And and you guys got to understand who he took that money from. And I'm really, especially with that story before, state of Mississippi is predominantly African American. That means it took a lot of African Americans and people that are on that. So he took a lot of money for those poor people that really need that money to eat, need that money to live, need that money to pay for housing and do all those things. You took it and you gave it to your daughter's school, or you had the funds diverted to go to your daughter's school, and you fully endorsed it when it was going. So, with that being said, that has nothing to do with your Parkinson's disease. It has nothing to do with what you're diagnosed against. And the fact that when people called you out on it, you fought back and resisted instead of just admitting that you did wrong and figure out a way to get the money back in it and apologize about it, right? I don't think we all forgive people that apologize and that are genuine with their apologies. They made a mistake, which is possible, right? Could have actually been working with some people and it was a mistake. We would have been like, okay, fine. And he's like, I'm going to figure out a way to get you guys the money back. I didn't mean to do it. We'll cut off funding off now, and I'll get whatever we got back, and then I'll figure out a way to pay you guys back and do whatever we got to do. We would have been like, okay, cool, Brett Favre's the righteous dude. He made a mistake. But you did. You fought it. You told everybody you didn't do anything wrong. So, deal with the consequences at this point.
That's it. That's where it is, folks. That's the real deal right there. I'm gonna send this email out to the Black Student Union at Gettysburg University as soon as we log off. I'm gonna put a little bit more context into it, but it was a wild show tonight, man. Wild show.
Well, I mean, I thought our audience was gonna chime in a little bit more today. They was chiming in when we were talking about Diddy. They don't want to chime in when we talk about.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's shock and awe, right? Again, just shock and awe about the particular way that we started, because again, that's just, man, that's a hard story to fathom, and someone has to bring it up, and when we brought it up, but that.
So speaking, let's go. Let's kind of redirect a little bit.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about Diddy, since I brought the name up, his impact going to be on sports entertainment may be huge if all the allegations and the things they're saying are absolutely true. Right? So, how
so?
Well, I mean, it says that, he had a lot of athletes that were there, that was at his parties, and, possibly may have on film, and all the above.
Man, I'm glad you didn't go to none of them parties. I know you hang out with all the rich and famous. Boy, I'm glad you weren't at one of them parties.
Well, my thing is this, man. Okay, Diddy did some horrible things. There's no denying that, at least from what we read or what we heard. I don't appreciate the media, the way they're making him be a monster on certain things he did, because me, I'm kind of cross. I'm a realistic. I believe he victimized some people, but I also believe some people were going along with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
They were willing participants. They were adults. They were willing participants. If you're a willing participant and you're of age, that's not sex trafficking. You went to those parties willingly, and you knew what was going to happen. You willingly put the pill in your mouth and slept with whoever you did or do whatever you do at those parties. There was a lot of those.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's no other ones. I don't know about the victims. And that's terrible that he did that to some people. But those willing, I don't know how law's going to decipher which is a real victim and which was a willing participant. And what I mean, the way I don't like to avoid the payment is, what does confiscating baby oil got to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything about his crime? Baby oil and sex traffic, which is just he's a sex maniac, okay, but that doesn't need to be said. I don't remember them saying that anything about Weinstein. They never talked about what they found in his house, or whatever crazy, freaky things they found in his life. They didn't say anything, whatever freaky things they found in Epstein's house. Why are they putting him in the media to talk about what they found is baby oil, and they found all these sex toys and all this
little double standard. I hear you. Little double standard.
Why are they putting all this business out there? Last I checked, it's not illegal to be a freak. Maybe a little sickening, it may not be your taste, but that's not illegal. Just like I think it's not illegal if the willing adults were participating in the acts he was doing, that's not considered sex trafficking. They were willing participants. And tell me, as you guys, is the law, how you decipher who was a victim and who wasn't? Because we already know, let's keep it real, some people are going to claim victim because they see dollar signs. We know Cassie was a victim, right? We saw that on film.
We saw that on tape, yeah.
The other people that are making allegations, where's their tape? Because I don't see it. And I wouldn't normally be saying, I'm not defending Diddy at all, but I'm saying, where do you decipher? Because there's going to be people just coming out for the woodwork just for the money. Yeah. And saying that they're victims. And it's unfortunate, right? Because it kind of dilutes the people that were really victims in these horrific crimes. So I just don't like the way they paint it, man. Like, paint it like you did Epstein. Paint it like you did Weinstein. And let him go through his thing. Why are all these other things coming about?
Just hopefully folks just avoid the noise, right? And again, it's probably
can't
not.
When it's on
but
TNT
yeah, you can.
Minutes.
Yeah, you can.
You can't avoid
as soon as I said it, it didn't sound right coming out of my mouth. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's my only. And when I mean what's the social impact for our sports is concerned, They're saying LeBron was at his parties. They're saying Kobe, before he passed away, was at some of his parties. They're saying, I mean, and I don't, it could be wrong. I don't know if it's true or false, but I would find it hard to believe that no athletes attended his parties.
Oh
As
yeah,
high as
no,
Kobe was
they were
back in
definitely
there,
there. Oh yeah,
yeah, they
they were
was there.
definitely there.
There's a lot of athletes over there, so if he has secrets or tapes or footage on them, it's going to be crazy, man, how the stuff all unfolds with him. And I think it will be an impact on sports, some form, some fashion, because I'm sure somebody out there probably was doing something that's not as favorable in media.
That they don't want to get out.
Yeah, that they don't want
I
to get
just
out.
worry about, and I hope, and again, third person removed. Don't know. I continue to see pictures of Aaliyah, and I worry, and I'm thinking about, hopefully there weren't any the underage element. That is the one that right there is going to be a real problem. Should that come out?
If you did that, but see, if you did that underage element, there's a lot of entertainers that need to be put in jail.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It ain't just him. It's a lot
more.
Oh
no.
That definitely should be in the situation where they were messing with a minor at that point. And I believe that hopefully that all comes out and they clear the dust with all that. I'm just saying, if you're gonna paint the picture of an animal that's a predator, paint the same picture of all of them, because they're all doing the same bad things. You know, Epstein, Weinstein did the same thing, Puffy did something, but I never heard all that stuff they're talking about put on those two guys' names at all. They didn't talk about it. So that's the part that kind of irritates me. But beyond that, man, like I'll tell you before, I really don't really care. He ain't in my run.
Wait, you don't have no Diddy problems?
I don't wish, hey man, I don't wish him luck and I don't wish him harm. I just like whatever that's on you, man.
Take
you put
that.
yourself in that situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gonna take it. He gonna take that.
There he go. He gonna get something. I don't know what it is,
man.
but he gonna get it.
I would say that to everyone out there. Karma is real. You do bad, and bad comes back to you. It may not, like I said before, it may not come back to you tomorrow, the next day, but it's eventually gonna come back to you and affect you some way. And I honestly believe, just from my view, my perspective, this is karma biting Diddy for whatever wrong he's done in the past. It's starting to come to light because there's just too many people saying did them bad or did them wrong in his lifetime, and he may not be guilty of everything they're talking about, but he's guilty of something.
Yeah, it's going to be real tough for him to come back from whatever the result is. It's going to be real tough to come back.
I'll explain it this way. This is the way I look. He's in hell regardless. If he goes to jail, obviously that's a living hell because you got to go to jail when you're locked up, incarcerated. If he gets exonerated, his funds will be depleted. He can't get any more business partners. And if his funds are depleted, guess what? He goes back to where he was living before with the shame on his face that he lost everything and that he's been involved in these things. So no one will ever work with him again, not even on the back end. No one will ever do business with him. That's a living hell in itself because he fought so hard in his life to get out of that situation, to be poor, to be rich, and he got there, and now it's going to be all gone. And I read something, or I was reading something the other day. The feds don't raid you and arrest you, even in certain situations. They do those things to make sure they deplete your funding, so you can't fight no more. So you can't put in a situation no more. So they deny you your bail. You have to still pay for your lawyer. You still have to do all these other things. You have to get things like you got to hire your own experts and all that stuff. And guess what? Money starts to go away. And okay, fine, you're innocent, but all my money's gone, and I can't get none of that back just to prove my innocence. So
that's why I just stay home. I don't even go out in these streets. I'm gonna stay right here.
I got a picture of you in Vegas. You be out in the streets.
Watch it now. Hold up now.
You just fall asleep. Go to sleep.
All right. We're gonna move on now. We gonna move on. That's true. I mean, we're gonna put all this business out. Next week, I want to talk about two strategies. Notice I quickly pivot. I think there'll be more news about Reggie Bush trying to get his compensation. He's got a lawsuit out. He's trying to. He probably will get some money. He's got a lawsuit against the Pac-12 and NCAA, and we'll talk about our conference Pac-12 and how we back.
No, not quite, but yeah, I got you.
Don't do that. The
And
Pac-12
then we
is
got to
back.
talk about the gentleman at UNLV that just left UNLV.
Yeah,
Based on
y'all see it
NIL
going
deal.
across the ticket right there. He said, "Listen,
Yeah.
I'm through with y'all." So next week,
Yep.
y'all make sure to come back. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, do all the things. We already got half of the show set up, unless we have another gut wrenching opening to the show, like we did here tonight. But Montel, take us home, man.
Yeah, man. Like I always say, first of all, to reach out to a loved one, check on everybody, do your wellness, check on everybody, make sure they're okay. And say your prayers, man. I'm a big prayer guy. Say your prayers every night, just for self, man, just to cleanse yourself a little bit. And like we always say, please be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations because that's how we learn.
We out.
Bringing the heat, team no sleep, with heavy as me, we're on the mic, taking over the game, no time for rest, cause we're in it for fame. Talking sports, breaking it down from the court to the field, all around town, we stay up all night, grinding on the mic, bringing news, real stories on the fly. Montel's got the stats changed,